Well, first of all, welcome everybody. We're excited that Summer A of summer school started this Monday. We have several guys here on campus that are attending summer school. We're also very excited that 6 of our players last week graduated. Our 6 seniors, Chris Likes, Nasir Brooks, Cam McGusty, Rodney Miller graduated from grad school. Sam, not Sam. Who else? Dang Gak graduated. So we ended up with 6. I might be missing somebody. Oh yeah, Willie Harrington. That was the other. So very, very proud of them. Excited for them. Their families that their sons have earned a degree, a very prestigious degree from the University of Miami. Right now, we have 12 scholarship players heading into next season. We're still recruiting. We're trying to find guys whose names are in the portal or any senior in high school who we think fits what we're looking for to go forward with our basketball program. There's over 1,500 players in the transfer portal. And, we keep our eyes and ears open to see if there's anybody out there that we might have interest in. So we're going to get started with skill development next week with the guys who are in town. We get 8 weeks to work with our players, and we're going to try to be as productive as we can be in those 8 weeks.
All right, we'll jump into questions now for Coach L. We'll start off with Steve Wine from the Associated Press. Steve?
Thank you, Alex. Hi, Jim. We knew this was going to be an unprecedented offseason. What's your reaction to the way it's gone around the country, and what do you think it means for the direction of the sport overall?
Well, I look at college basketball now from a coach's standpoint. It's like a game of poker, where you reshuffle the deck after every season. And the players are kind of distributed throughout the country. The average number of players transferring per school is over 5 per team. We have 353 schools. We have over 1,500 transfers. So everybody's roster is going to look very, very different. Some rosters will have quite a few freshmen, incoming freshmen, and quite a few transfers. And since the NCAA has allowed seniors to return, there are going to be a ton of upperclassmen playing next year. Now, I think we'll have 5 seniors on our roster next season, 5 of the 12 scholarship players we have right now.
Right now, I'll go to Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald. Michelle?
Hey, Coach, you said you have 12. What is the optimum number for you? Are you looking for a certain number? Are you just looking for certain positions? What are you thinking that you want by November?
Well, by the end of the summer, when August classes begin, we're hoping to have 13 scholarship players. We'd like to get one more guy this year.
All right, now we'll go to David Furones from the Sun Sentinel. David?
Hey, Coach. To sort of close the chapter on the guys that transferred out, was there a common theme in their decisions from your conversations with them, or did they all have kind of unique circumstances and reasons for wanting to play elsewhere?
Yeah, I'd say each of them had their own individual situations. Some of them just wanted a fresh start someplace else. I'll use our seniors as an example. If you look at Chris Likes and Nasir Brooks, they both graduated. They're like, okay, I've already graduated from college. I've experienced what Miami is like. Hey, let me try, some other place. And from what I've heard from a lot of recruits that we've talked to, they all say like, hey, my friend's transferred, so I think I'll look around and see what else is out there. Now, the direction that recruiting is going in, and this is a major concern of mine, what's going to happen next spring? Right, this spring it was pretty efficient, if you ask me. Everybody who transferred didn't take an official visit; they did a Zoom visit. So there was not a lot of expense to recruit transfers. However, next spring, come March, and kids start to transfer, if the rule remains the same that now they can take 5 visits, can you imagine what it's going to be like when a kid can take 5 visits through April, May, and June? And what will it do to them academically? Because if I'm a kid and I feel like I'm transferring, so I don't really need to keep up my schoolwork here. I'm going to another place. I'll just, I'll visit during the week. I'll take my 48 hours on, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and miss 3-day classes because, I'm going to be able to play because I'm going to be eligible because I have a 2.0. But, I can really enjoy myself and get to 4 or 5 different schools during these next 4 or 5 weeks. Well, if you do that and you start doing your visits in April, we've already just finished graduating in May. So a kid would be taking his visits all through the time he should be really buckling down after a season to catch up with his schoolwork and to get his grades in order so that he'd be on time for graduation. I think in terms of academic progress, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to college basketball.
And I also wanted to check in on Cam McGusty and Isaiah Wong. Last we heard they were testing the NBA waters. Are they now coming back, or what's the latest on them?
Well, there's no update because the NBA hasn't done anything yet. So they're just in the wait and see, hoping to get a look at by NBA teams, maybe get invited to the combine. And the NBA combine is not for a good long while. So we don't expect any decisions to be made on either of those until the combine makes its choices.
We'll go now to Chris Stock from InsideTheU. Chris?
Yes, just a few questions. With Cam and Isaiah, are they going to participate in your skill workout stuff, or are they doing their own? Okay, specifically with Isaiah, obviously good year last year, but just maybe some things that you'll work with him on individually.
Well, I just sent a text message to all the players asking them, now that skill development is starting this Monday, what are the areas of your game that you want us to focus on? I haven't heard back from Isaiah, but I'm pretty sure I know he wants to improve his 3-point shooting. He wants to improve his ball handling and decision making. So he'll send us the list of the areas he wants to focus on, and then that's what we'll do during this month of June and July.
And also, just to follow, Jakai and Wuga, are they on campus now?
Oh no, they haven't graduated from high school yet.
Do you expect them this summer on campus?
Well, I expect them as soon as they've done graduating, they'll be here, because one of the new NCAA rules is you don't have to be in summer school to be on campus and receive your scholarship. So as soon as Wuga graduates, as soon as Jakai graduates, they'll be down here.
And just how much are you looking forward to that, working with them with your coaches in this whole summer, and your thoughts on those 2 players maybe coming into your program?
Well, when we recruited them, we saw tremendous potential in their futures. Wuga's an outstanding athlete and can really shoot the ball. Jakai Robinson is an outstanding competitor, a real warrior type who can play multiple positions. So the key for them, as it is for all freshmen, can you make the adjustment defensively? I think they'll both be fine on offense, but can you make the adjustment of defending another terrific player throughout a ball game? Because most freshmen are well behind defensively.
And just lastly from me, you touched on you'd like to get to that 13th scholarship player. Are you looking for a specific position? I kind of guess maybe a front court player.
Yeah, we need a big guy. we only have, if you look at size, we have Rodney Miller, Dengak, and Sam Wardenberg. Most of the teams in our league have 5 or 6 guys like that. We have 3. So we'd like to add a 4th.
Go back to Steve Wine from the Associated Press now. Steve?
So, Jim, we're going to have a lot of really experienced players on a lot of teams next season, which is against the trend in recent years in college basketball. Do you think the kind of competition we're going to see is going to be very different because of that next season?
Well, I think the competition throughout the country will be very, very similar to what we've seen. My concern for all these players who are transferring is, can the school that they transferred to meet their expectation? So I don't have to worry about anybody else, but I know in our situation, we recruited Charlie Moore, who transferred from DePaul. Well, we have an ideal opening on our staff for him, and that is to replace Chris Likes. He's a different player, but a very productive player. Jordan Miller is kind of our replacement for Earl Timberlake. Earl didn't get a chance to play and contribute a lot as a freshman, but he was 6'5", 6'6", left-handed, very versatile, could handle the ball, could guard multiple positions. Jordan Miller is very much like that. Now, Jordan hasn't played in the ACC yet, but I think he's a proven commodity at the Atlantic 10 level, at being the leading scorer and leading rebounder for George Mason. So he's already here. He's already starting to work out and getting accustomed to the University of Miami, our facilities, and the academics. And I think both of those guys will be very, very nice contributors, and I would assume immediately, because they're not young kids who have to learn how important defense is. Their skill set is pretty well established. So I think Charlie and Jordan are really good additions.
Now we'll go back to Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald. Michelle?
Yeah, kind of following up on what you're saying about how this is, obviously in your estimation, bad for college basketball for so many different reasons that you've mentioned that all make sense. How do you deal with it as a coach? Like, you're going to get a guy coming to you. They're basically just committing for one season. I mean, they're basically saying, I'm going to come play at Miami, and next spring, I'll decide if I want to come back or not, or if I want to go to some other school. How do you deal with that as a coach? I mean, how much commitment do you make to these players if they're not really committing to you?
Well, my commitment to them is not about it's quid pro quo. That's not how I've ever looked at coaching. And I'll give you a very good example. Chris Likes played here for 4 years. His first 3 years, I think he had a terrific career. His 4th year was very frustrating. But it wasn't just frustrating for him. That was frustrating for me, my coaches, his teammates, not to have our preseason first team ACC player not competing and helping us win games. But I got a beautiful text from his mom thanking me and my staff and my wife for devoting so much time and energy to Chris. And I text her back and told her he's very much a part of my family and will always be, despite the fact that he decided to enter his name into the portal and transfer to Arkansas. It has nothing to do with the experience that we shared together for 4 years. So as far as I'm concerned, if someone is here for 1 year, okay, we're going to do the best job we can. Do you guys remember DeAndre Burnett? DeAndre Burnett played here for 1 year as a freshman. He's from Carroll City, and he came as a freshman. He was a part-time starter. I still stay in touch with him. He still loves Miami. He transferred out, went to Mississippi to finish out his career. But that doesn't mean I'm mad at him or he let me down or he wasn't committed. No. Every one of these young men are on their own journey. They all have goals in mind. And it's very, very hard to be critical of someone transferring. It'd be very hypocritical of me when we've recruited so many transfers. We recruited Shane Larkin. He transferred from DePaul. We recruited Angel Rodriguez. He transferred from Kansas State. Sheldon McCullough transferred from Texas. Kamari Murphy from Oklahoma State. We've had all these transfers who've done great for us, and they love Miami. And they come back to Miami, and they stay in touch with me. Angel was here the other day hanging out in the training room. So should I be critical of someone that makes that same choice because he's leaving my program? No. I think kids are on their own journey. They are greatly influenced by agents, by AAU coaches, high school coaches, parents, relatives, friends, and depending on who they listen to as to what direction they go in. And that's always going to be the case, even more so now because of NIL. Name, image, and likeness is going to be a true measuring stick as to what kind of program you have. And I don't mean basketball program. I just mean sports program at your universities. Because if there's some student athletes that are able to make and generate a lot of income through name, image, and likeness, and other schools are not able to generate at all, it'll say an awful lot about your sports program if your student athletes are making a very nice living, almost as professionals, but of course we know they're not professionals, they're amateurs.